Time to light it up.
Welcome back to Box Office Maniacs, and tonight I have a major movie review for you tonight, and that is, of course, Black Panther. Now, the first time I ever saw Black Panther, obviously like everybody else did, was in Civil War. And for the few minutes that he was in there, he blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, this is spectacular. I think he had one of the best costumes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I thought his entire outfit was so freaking cool looking. So when they announced they were going to make a Black Panther movie, I was like, cool, I can't wait to find out about this character, because I literally know nothing about the Black Panther. I kind of know him from the comics, but even that, I'd never read a single comic with him in it. I've known the costume because I've seen it before, and I know all the major characters, is what I'm saying. Some of the minor characters, like Black Panther, and even like Ghost Rider and things like that, you know, I know who they are. Even Thor, to tell you the truth, when I saw the Thor film, I knew nothing about Thor. I didn't know about Asgard. I didn't know any of that stuff until I went to go see it. And that's one of the reasons why I was actually pretty excited to see this movie, is to learn about this character that I know nothing about, who looks absolutely freaking cool. And I gotta tell you, I'm kind of sick still. I've been sick for almost 6 days now. So I'm going to try to make it through this review without my voice going out. I'm going to try very, very hard here. Okay, so Black Panther, the first time I saw the trailer for this, it didn't really appeal to me. I was like, okay, I mean, it looks pretty cool. And I don't, again, knowing nothing about the character, knowing nothing about the origin, knowing nothing about anything, when you see the trailer, you're like, oh, okay. I don't really get it, but okay, I'm still going because I am absolutely a Marvel fanboy. 100%, and I will admit it right here, I don't really care. I am a Marvel fanboy. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love all the characters in the universe. I love almost just about every single movie that's ever come out from Marvel. And I'm going to say this right from the beginning. I'm going to put this out there right now before I even start the review for Black Panther, is I don't care that the entire cast is black. I don't care that the director is black. I don't care if the writers were black. I absolutely 100% don't care if everybody in this movie was green, purple, blue, red, or if the director was a white elephant with red polka dots. I don't care. What I care about is a good story, good characters, and having a lot of fun seeing a movie, and this had all of that. Every single thing I just mentioned that was this movie. Especially the acting. Oh my god, this is probably the best acted Marvel film in the entire series so far. Every actor in here just nailed it. I mean, wow. But I'll get to that in a minute. Right now I want to talk a little bit about the movie. And again, going into this, knew nothing. I absolutely knew zero, beyond zero, about Black Panther, except for what I saw in Civil War. So finding out about who he was and his history and the medal that was in the movie was really interesting, because, you know, I knew that the medal that was in there was what Captain America's shield was made out of, but beyond that, I didn't know anything else about it. I didn't know where it came from. I didn't know, you know, who had it. I didn't know anything about Wakanda. I knew nothing. When it first started, I wasn't sure if I was actually going to like it or not. It starts off a little slow, to tell you the truth. Not like super slow, but it starts off like, okay, I don't know, you know. But once it starts, you start knowing the characters and knowing where the movie's going here, I think watching it a second time, I wouldn't have that problem, because going into it, I'll know all these characters. Like I said, I'm trying to still talk here. I'm very sick. I'm trying to make through this. I'm going to make it through this review. And one thing my wife even pointed out when we were watching the movie, when it first starts out, it's a very dark film. It's really, really dark. It has like this really dark overcast on the film, and it was kind of hard to see. And maybe I'm just spoiled because of, you know, having this Blu-ray technology and the 4K technology. And, you know, when you actually buy the movie and you can see it on your own TV and everything is bright and crystal clear, I don't know, for some reason the first like 10, 15, 20 minutes of the movie was just dark. Really, really super dark. And that was exactly what I was thinking about when I saw that, was, man, I bet this is going to look much better on 4K when it comes out. The rest of the film was great. I mean, once it actually got past the beginning of it, it didn't get that dark anymore. It didn't really have that overtone of, can't really see what's happening here. And once you get to know these characters and realize who they are, and like, oh, okay, this is this person, this is this person, you know, it's like trying to figure out, you know, characters in a Star Wars film and never seen a Star Wars movie before. It's like, okay, I don't know what's happening. Oh, now I know. Okay, so it's sort of like that. So once the movie starts getting rolling, oh man, it just gets rolling and it doesn't stop. It's so good. And getting back to the actual actors in here, they had Michonne from The Walking Dead, and she played sort of the female warrior in this movie. Just outstanding. She was outstanding in this movie. And I thought it was really cool that the king of, you know, the Black Panther, the king, surrounded himself with all female warriors. And I thought that was such a cool idea. And they had the best armor on. They had the absolute coolest armor on. And they were awesome. And just mentioning the side cast here, oh man, just the side actors, not even talking about the main actors, were just brilliant in this movie. Speaking of Killmonger, which is Michael Jordan.
Stop it. Get some help.
Not that Michael Jordan. The Michael Jordan that was actually the Human Torch in the terrible, terrible Fantastic Four movie. And then he was actually Apollo Creed's son in Creed, which, by the way, the person who directed Creed directed this as well, did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. He was awesome in this movie. Just, I mean, he played the bad guy, obviously, and he did such a great job because he was that type of person you just wanted to hate. You just wanted to hate this guy. And, you know, when you're an actor, it must be a lot of fun to try to put together that role. Also, it must be really difficult to do something that just you want to despise this person, and he played it perfectly. He was incredible in that role, just absolutely fantastic. And the Black Panther's sister, I don't know what her name is, but she was fantastic as well, and his girlfriend, and the whole entire cast. And one cool thing about the movie, it actually had Andy Serkis in it. If you don't know who Andy Serkis is, he does all the CG work, so you don't really ever see Andy Serkis. You see a CG character they put over him. He played Gollum in Lord of the Rings. He actually played King Kong in the remake of King Kong. Of course, he played Caesar in the remake of the Planet of the Apes. And the guy's a phenomenal actor, and he absolutely deserved an Academy Award nomination, especially for Planet of the Apes. So in this movie, you actually got to see him without the CG over him. He actually was in the film. And the guy that was in The Hobbit was in here as well, who also was in the Sherlock TV show. And again, this whole movie was surrounded by fantastic actors. And going into the plot here, I'm not going to, no spoilers, don't worry, I'm not going to give any spoilers out for this movie. But going into the plot, it was so fascinating to find out about Wakanda. And so fascinating to find out about their way of life there, and how they existed, and where they've been all these years. And as it, you know, unfolds, it's just a really great film. And what makes it so great is it's completely, and I mean completely, different than any other Marvel film that has come out. With the only thing I can think of is that comes close to this is like the first Thor, where you get to go to Asgard, and you don't, well, at least me, I didn't know anything about Asgard, and here I'm learning and exploring this whole world and finding out about, you know, Asgard and the culture and stuff, and that's what this movie is like. You get to go to Wakanda, and you get to find out these people's culture and see, you know, how they live and all that, and it's just so good. There's a few things that bothered me in the film, which, you know, I think that I like the original Black Panther outfit, the one that he had in Civil War. I thought that was incredible. I thought that was one of the best outfits they ever put on film. And for some reason, they changed it up in this film. I don't know why, but they did. They changed the look of the costume. And again, I don't want to get any spoilers for the costume, but I can kind of see why they did the way they did. But at the same time, I kind of like the old, you know, just a regular costume that they had in the original Civil War. And some of the CG was I mean, most of it was outstanding, but then there was a little bit here and there that the CG could have been a little bit better, I think. But other than that, I mean, again, I'm nitpicking, and I go to a movie to enjoy it. I'm just telling you some of the things that, you know, while I was watching it, things that bothered me. But other than that, again, I go to try to enjoy a film, and I enjoyed this movie beginning to end, thought it was spectacular. Absolutely one of the best Marvel films out there, which is hard to say because there's so many great Marvel films now, and you can just add another one to the greatness, and that is Black Panther, and Black Panther gets... So if you're on the fence about Black Panther and you're like, you know, I don't know if I want to, go see it. If you like all the other Marvel films and if you're a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, go see it. It's just as good as all the other movies. It's better than some of the other films. And the characters of Black Panther, the King, and Killmonger, and again, the Mushan, I don't know what her name was in the movie, but all that stuff, and all of it. And it's really cool, fantastic story. And I love where it went, and this is so important. If you're just going to skip this movie and go right to the Infinity War, you know, don't, because this is really important film that is going to lead up to that. Even though they don't mention Infinity War at all in this movie, just to let you know. But, you know, the sort of the, again, I don't want to give spoilers away, but it's an important film leading up to Infinity Gauntlet. At least I think it's going to be. Because once you get to the Infinity Gauntlet, and if you don't know the Black Panther, and you don't know the background, you don't know Wakanda, or where he comes from, or, you know, any of that stuff, and I'm sure a lot of that stuff is going to be in the Infinity Gauntlet, or the Infinity Wars, you're going to be lost. And you're like, huh? I don't get it. And you probably won't like it as much because you're missing this movie. Do not miss this movie. It's, so far, probably, I mean, it's still the beginning of the year. It's the best movie I've seen so far this year. Of course, it's very, very, very early this year, but only a couple months in, still, so far the best movies come out this year. Let's put it that way. So again, Marvel can't go wrong. And when we went to go see this movie, I gotta say this too real quick, there were 30 showings that day, and every single showing was sold out. The entire day, all of them, every showing, it was showing every 30 minutes, every one was sold out. And when I got there was no place to park. And I'm driving through the parking lot just looking at these cars and the thousands of people, and I'm just like, wow. Just wow. I mean, Marvel still has it, and I don't think they're ever going away anytime soon. I mean, these are events. When the Marvel brings out a movie, it's a freaking event. You know, it's that big. So there you go. There is my review for Black Panther. I cannot wait until Infinity War. That's my Star Wars. I mean, that is this, you know, all these years building up to that. And that's, I believe, the next one coming out. And then Ant-Man's after that. Or it's Ant-Man and then Infinity War. I'm not sure. I think it's Infinity War next. But yeah, that's it. That's my big one for this year. That's my biggest anticipation ever. I mean, I couldn't tell you how excited I am for that movie. And I'm really glad they brought this out as a stepping stone to that now. And now I'm just even more excited for it. Alright, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, hit that subscribe button and become one of the maniacs here on Box Office Maniacs. I will see you next time.
Think about this.